Well. The Cowboys are getting ready for their 53-man roster. They have to have this 53-man roster by August the 26th. So we're looking at roughly about 3 days. And there have been some surprise players, I believe, for some of us that have really shined during this training camp. For some people, they really were not a surprise. But nevertheless, after watching OTAs, training camp, and now 3 preseason games, I'm going to give you 5 players. 5 players I believe the Cowboys should sign to the 53-man roster. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. So now we've come down to the exciting part of the season for me, and that is actually going to be opening night on that Thursday night. But we're also coming down to a point to where we finally get to see the Cowboys break this down to the 53-man roster. And I talked about this today. You know, with all of this nonsense going on with Micah Parsons, a lot of things are getting lost in the sauce. And one of the things that is actually getting lost in the sauce is that the Cowboys have put together a very, very good roster as it applies to starters, second team, and so forth, you know, all the way almost to 4th string in some cases. And some of these undrafted free agents, some of these free agents, some of these people the Cowboys have brought in, they have rose to the absolute occasion. And now it looks like they can not only play this game on this level, but they can be absolute contributors to this team this year and going forward, and especially at a good price. So I'm going to give you 5 players, and I got them listed from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give you 5 players that I think the Cowboys must sign. They must sign. And first of all, let me give you an honorable mention. One of the honorable mentions is Princeton Fant. Princeton Fant, tight end for the Cowboys. I really believe that this guy is, the Cowboys might need to try and stash him on the practice squad. He's made a few plays in this preseason too. I'm going to give him an honorable mention. And the reason why I'm giving him an honorable mention is simply because I'm thinking that the other tight end may be just a little bit better. And that tight end is Rivaldo Fairweather. Rivaldo Fairweather. I really do believe the Cowboys should sign Rivaldo Fairweather. He had three receptions for 18 yards and a touchdown this week with against the Atlanta Falcons. I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, he's shown some things even in training camp. He's looked pretty good. And so I really do think that the Cowboys should consider signing Rivaldo Fairweather. I think his name is Rivaldo Fairweather. And either him or Princeton Fant. Because I'm going to do another video about why these 2 tight ends could possibly take a couple of tight end spots that we have. But I am definitely saying the Cowboys should definitely look at signing Rivaldo Fairweather to the 53-man roster. Another player that I believe the Cowboys should sign to the 53-man roster, and it is none other than Perrion Winfrey. Perrion Winfrey has looked absolutely good during this preseason. In the preseason finale, he had a very good sack. He had 4 tackles, four tackles. 2 of those were solo. And then, of course, he had a sack against the Falcons. He made a crucial stop on a 3rd down play and played a key role in a goal line stance. I mean, he's looked very good in practice this whole year. His UFL in the UFL is where he was. He had a standout season in the UFL, earning all UFL honors and recording 29 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups, a forced fumble, and a sack in 10 games. I really do think Perrion Winfrey should definitely be signed. I think he's going to be able to be very versatile for the Cowboys. I think he can play 3-tech. Of course, he's a 3-tech, but I think he can also, from time to time, slide over into the 1-tech position. And I think the Perrion Winfrey will be a very, very, very good rotational piece for the Dallas Cowboys. Then we have another player that has absolutely, I think, surprised. I know he surprised me. Undrafted free agent, I believe, Zion Childress. Zion Childress has been very, very good. Zion Childress, we even had one game where Zion Childress had 5 tackles, had 6 tackles actually, 5 solos, one assisted. I mean, he's been, whenever his number has been called during the preseason, I mean, his coverage has been good. I mean, pass breakups, you name it, Zion Childress has really, 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 really turned it on. And I really believe the Cowboys, especially with the secondary we have right now, I really do think the Cowboys should seriously be looking at signing Zion Childress. I mean, especially when you're looking at the fact that we need somebody to replace Jordan Lewis. We need a dog to replace Jordan Lewis. I mean, Jordan Lewis was absolutely fantastic for the Cowboys. I hated to see him go. But, you know, at the same time, when we signed George Pickens, I was actually laughing because he said it was God's will for him not to be with the Cowboys anymore, because after the altercation that him and George Pickens had last year, I guess he was basically saying he wouldn't have been able to get along with it. But now I want to come down to number 2. Number 2, Trayshawn Holden. Trayshawn Holden, to me, is an amazing story. A lot of people were saying when Trayshawn Holden didn't get drafted out of Oregon, a lot of people thought that he should have gotten drafted. And then he comes to the Cowboys, and then he became kind of like a big story, because we had kind of got it mixed up, because we were like, yeah, he only got a $3,000 contract. It was $3,000 guaranteed, but in actuality, the contract was actually bigger than that. But the only part of that contract that is guaranteed is $3,000. And so Trayshawn Holden, I believe, with a huge chip on the shoulder, offended because he didn't get drafted, offended because he only gets a $3,000 guarantee. He's only came into training camp and balled out. That's all he's done. Ball out in training camp. Great catches, great routes. We've seen him a couple of weeks. I think we've seen a couple of weeks, especially in the first game against the Rams. Boy, he made a couple of big catches. Made a couple of big catches last night. Trayshawn Holden is that type of receiver. Or he is coming for roster spots. He is coming for roster spots. And one of the reasons why I think that the Cowboys should really be looking at keeping Trayshawn Holden is because when I look at the Cowboys depth chart at wide receiver, and when I look at what's in front of Trayshawn Holden, we've had Cropper around here for a while. We know what Cropper is. We've actually even had Jalen Brooks around here for a while. We know what Jalen Brooks is. I think we've kind of reached a point with them that we know exactly what they are. Ryan Flanoy has balled out. He's staying on this team, and I think he's got a big future with the Cowboys. And then, of course, you got Josh Kelly. I mean, Trayshawn Holden has elevated himself up that depth chart. I mean, he's right below Ryan Flanoy. Ryan Flanoy has looked great. He is right below Ryan Flanoy, and that ain't saying anything bad about him. That just tells you that Ryan Flanoy has really been playing that good. But the next receiver over Jalen Brooks, over Josh Kelly, over Jalen Cropper, to me, it is none other than Trayshawn Holden, and I do believe the Cowboys need to sign Trayshawn Holden. And then finally, the 5th player that I believe the Cowboys need to sign, and he is number 1 on my list, James Houston. James Houston, I am telling y'all, is an incredible player. James Houston, HBCU player. I bet you if he played for another program, if he'd have played for one of the major programs, he'd have went way higher than I think it was the 6th round, maybe the 5th or 6th round. He was drafted to the Detroit Lions. And I am telling you, this dude was balling. This dude was balling. Last 7 games of the season, I believe it is, James Houston, 8 sacks. And I'm talking against very good competition. 8 sacks in 2022 in his rookie season. He was on his way to like really having a very good campaign, wound up hurting a bone, I think, in his foot, and it was a setback for him. Yeah, it was a setback for him. And so now he seems to be definitely 100% healthy. And we are seeing some of the same things in the preseason that he showed during that season when he was starting to elevate. He's got very good lean, very quick, got a couple of moves in his repertoire, has some power. James Houston is one of these players the Cowboys, to me, cannot afford to let go. And especially if Jerry is going to take this thing to the wire with Micah Parsons, we definitely cannot afford for James Houston not to be on this team. The Cowboys are going to need as much pass rushing ability that they can get if they decide to take this into a couple of games and test the water on Micah Parsons playing on a franchise tag. And it already sounds to me this thing with Micah Parsons back is going to be his counter against Jerry and trying to make him play out a franchise tag. We're going to see how this all goes. But nevertheless, James Houston, even if they sign Micah Parsons, James Houston will be a great addition to an already elite pass rushing or edge rushing group once they get Micah Parsons signed. James Houston, man, I'm telling you, he'll be icing on the cake. He'll be icing on the cake. But again, y'all tell me what y'all think. Those are the 5 players as the Cowboys get ready for the 53-man cut down. Those are the 5 players that I believe the Dallas Cowboys must sign. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.